The native people offers you his left hand. Give him your left hand, for the right hand is no mark of friendship. This hand wields the spear, draws the bow, and is the hand of death. The left hand is next to the heart and speaks truth and friendship.
I say, that was a close call. Imagine making enemies with Kutniape.
I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, huh?
He was, after all, the war chief of the Pagan tribe.
A good person to have as your friend, no? Good thing David Thompson learned to speak so many of the native languages.
Extraordinary man that he was, David Thompson also recorded their way of life in his journals, describing each tribe and each person he encountered distinctly.
The natives in their manners are mild and decent. They treat each other with kindness and respect, and very rarely interrupt each other in conversation. Those acts that pass between men for generous charity and kind compassion in civilized society are no more than what is everyday practiced by these so-called savages as acts of common duty.
It was the native people who gave David Thompson his new name, Kukusint.
It means the man who looks at stars.
Because he spends so much time looking up at the skies to make his maps, eh?
Kukusint has a nice ring to it.
I wonder what name they would have given me.
Poo-poo stink. Man who needs a bath.
Who needs a paddle upside their head, eh?
Ow! I think you broke my nose.
Better than a broken leg like David Thompson, eh?
Coming down a steep bank, I fell and broke the large bone of my right leg. This turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. Later that year, while I was healing, one Philip Turner arrived at Cumberland House. Under him, I regained my mathematical education, thus learning practical astronomy under an excellent master of the science.
Breaking his leg in 1788 was a real turning point in David Thompson's life.
I'd say the real turning point came about 9 years later.
1797? Why ever then?
That was the year he left you losers at the Hudson's Bay and came over to the Norwest Company.
And what, pray tell, could David Thompson possibly achieve with your upstart trading company he couldn't with ours?
Let me see. Right after he came over to the Nor'westers, he discovered the source of the Mississippi. And during one 10-month period, he had surveyed over 4,000 miles by horseback, dog sled, and canoe.
Oh, is that all?
Today, I had the pleasure of meeting Sir Alexander Mackenzie, the celebrated traveler who first followed the river from the Slave Lake into the Arctic Sea, the river which bears his name. Upon my report to him of the surveys I had made, he was pleased to say I had performed more in 10 months than he expected could be done in 2 years.
I can't help but feel that we somehow failed young Thompson.
Don't feel too bad, English. After all, you gave him the training, and we gave him the chance to do what he loved. Explore!
But exploration was not all he loved, was it? Women, pish-posh. I left my wife back east.
And I be married to this sweet little canoe, eh?
Women in the wilderness, nothing but trouble, I say.
And they certainly don't know how to take care of themselves out here. Then again, we could be wrong.
I suppose being raised out here in the West would have given her skills ideal for surviving in the wilderness.
And so they were married.
And David Thompson, poet and scholar that he was, left an indelible mark of that memorable day in his journal.
June 10th, 1799. This day I married Charlotte Small.
That wasn't very romantic.
Ahem. David Thompson was a very private man.
But they were together a lot, oui.
My knowledge of the native religion I collected from living and traveling with them, and my lovely wife, who is of the blood of these people, speaks their language, which gives me a great advantage.
One might say she fulfilled all his dreams.
All but his big dream. English?
Ah, yes. The dream of all explorers to find the route to the Pacific Ocean. Not just any route, mind you, a river. One which would be to the west what the Saskatchewan River was to the east. A virtual water highway connecting the fur trading routes from west to east.
Without this river, us fur traders couldn't move the furs from over here to over there.
Not unlike the Trans-Canada Highway today, just a lot wetter.
And this river would be called the Columbia.
The quest for the Columbia River.
The Columbia River.
Others had tried to find this great river highway to the Pacific Ocean and failed. Alexander Mackenzie
Failed.
Simon Fraser.
Failed.
It was R. David Thompson who succeeded where others had not.
But it was not easy. Oster,